Hey guys, welcome back. It is a brand new week, and I have a bunch of people who are following for the first time. So I want to give some information so that people can know why I do my content the way that I do. So I'm going to just put these, hi there, I'm going to just put this heading here, and it's going to say, why don't I focus on men's bad behavior? So if you are watching this on the replay, please go ahead and skip ahead about 2 minutes, and we're gonna get right into it. All right, so I got it here, and let me just pin this. Okay, perfect. All right, hey Terry, thank you. You're always so kind, from Jamaica. Hey, how are you doing, love? Good to see you, sis. Okay, I was trying to, is it Lakshaya? I don't want to mispronounce it, so I stay away from the names that I feel like I'm going to butcher, and I feel like I'm going to butcher that one. So hopefully Lakshaya is the correct pronunciation for that. All right, so I'm going to get into the topic of why I don't focus on men's bad behavior, because a lot of times I will make a post and I will talk about the woman's side, and I don't get into what the men are doing, in a sense of like fussing at them. And so I want to explain the reason for this, because it's not because I don't see what's going on. It's not because I'm not aware of what men are doing to contribute to the toxic nature of a lot of relationships. It's because I have intention. Okay, so the biggest thing is this. It's not my place to tell a man what he's doing wrong, unless the man is coming to me and asking me for help. I'm not in the business of giving unsolicited advice. And so the people who come to me are women, and they are looking for help. I do occasionally get men who are looking for help, and I coach them one-on-one. But I do not have an overwhelming majority of men coming to me asking how to course correct. And you might say, unfortunately, the reason is because a lot of men are pretty happy with how things are going. I have learned that women hold a lot of power. And unfortunately, most women don't know this power. And so what happens is they actually make the rules. The women make the rules. The men go along. Let me give you an example. If a woman says, I like a beard, the men go out and get a beard. If the woman says, I'm really into firefighters, men go out and become firefighters. We as women set the tone. If we say, you have to work to get the cookie, you have to put a ring on my finger, then the men will work to get the cookie and they'll put a ring on their finger. If a woman says, I just need you to buy me a drink or two, he'll buy her a drink or two. If she says, I just need you to look my way, then he'll just look her way. Women, whether we want to admit it or not, hold the power. Now, this is why I talk to women about the power that they do have. Now, outside of someone physically overpowering you, beating you over the head with a club and dragging you into a cave, aside from that, you have tons and tons and tons of power as a woman. I don't care if I meet the most narcissistic, toxic man in the universe. I have the ability to block, decline, not answer, not hang out with. It doesn't matter how much someone wants to be with me. I have to allow them in my life. It doesn't matter how much someone wants to sleep with me. Again, aside from beating me over the head, drugging me, and physically going against my will, I don't have to sleep with them. It doesn't matter if they promise me the world. It doesn't matter if they promise me the sun, the moon, and the stars. It doesn't matter. I have the final say. I sleep with who I want. I marry who I want. I go on dates with who I want. I talk on the phone to whom I want. There is nobody with a gun to my head forcing me in a relationship. I will keep saying it because somebody will always say, well, what about abuse? I'm not talking about when you are in harm's way or someone is physically abusing you or holding you against your will. Outside of those scenarios, you have every right to get out of a situation, or better yet, never enter into it. So I would rather spend my time teaching women how to better vet and how to stay in their power. Okay? So that's the biggest reason why I don't address the men in my content. The other reason is because if I do address men in my content, the first thing that they want to say is, well, you just don't understand because you're a woman. So out the gate, they already see me as disqualified. So it's easier for me to only educate men who have put themselves in a position of the student wanting to learn. And those who do come, they learn a lot and they keep coming back and they become successful with women. So it's a win-win situation. I'm not wasting my breath and they're getting the information that they want. All right, so that's the first reason. The second thing is that outside, the one thing you can do is you can be defensive. You can defend against bad behavior. So as women, I'd rather teach them how to be defensive and protect themselves against bad behavior. But on the opposite end, I want them to understand offense. How can you be proactive? If I understand that showering and spraying myself with perfume attracts more people versus not showering and smelling really stinky and rolling in garbage repels people, then it serves as an offensive strategy to do the things that make you more enjoyable and what attracts a masculine man. Now, here's the thing. There are so many women who say they want to be feminine and say they want to attract a masculine man. However, they don't understand the most fundamental basics of attraction. Attraction comes in just like a rubber band that's being stretched. The farther they are apart, the more powerful the attraction, and it makes you want to snap together, okay? That's sexual chemistry. So a woman says, I want masculine energy from a man, but she's not giving him what is his polar opposite, which is feminine energy. And so when I teach women what feminine energy is and what it entails, they say, I don't like that. I don't like that. To which I say, I can't help you, babe. Like, I don't make the rules. I just teach you the rules so that you can play the game. So that is my motivation. I want to teach women how to, 1, defend against toxic behavior, and 2, know how to do things that attract the man and not repel him. Okay? The third thing is that a lot of times, and lovely ladies, you guys are so sweet, you're so beautiful, you have a lot of strengths, but we tend to suffer from a lot of delusion sometimes, okay? And it's because we're ideal and we're full of hope, but that idealness and that full of hopeness is our worst enemy sometimes because it makes us a little delusional, okay? We say things like, I'm going to give you an example. I want to eat junk food all day, be sedentary, don't get off my couch, and I want to get in the best shape of my life. Okay, you just listed all the things that you want. That's fine, okay? You gotta have some dreams. But you also have to live in reality. And reality says, if I eat nothing but junk food, and I don't get up and exercise and burn those extra calories, and I don't work out, I'm not going to get everything that I want. So in that scenario, you can eat what you want, sure. As long as you can afford the food or find the source of the food, you can eat. You don't want to get up off the couch? Okay, cool. You can not get off the couch. That's fine. No one's stopping you. But that third one takes work. So if you say, I want to have a ripped body, well, there are things you got to do. You got to learn about nutrition. You got to learn about exercise. You got to learn about certain types of exercise depending on the look that you're going for. And so I want to help women to understand what those things are that are required to get what they want. Okay? So those are the 3 things in summary. Number 1, let's figure out how to defend ourselves against the negative stuff that men are doing that we don't like. 2, let's get an offensive strategy in place. Let's understand what repels the man that we want and attracts the man that we do want. Okay? We I think I said that weird. We have to understand how to not repel the man that we want, but rather attract that man that we want. So this is why I focus my energy on teaching women, because here's the thing, okay? If you learn what men like, and you learn what attracts them, and you avoid what repels them, you start to have the upper hand. And all the other guys that you defended against, they're not stupid. Men are actually really, really brilliant. They will take notes. They have always taken notes. And when they keep seeing the guy get the girl, they study and say, what did that man do? Oh, he put a ring on her finger. Oh, okay. Oh, he came at her correctly. Okay. He didn't call her out her name. Oh, okay. He moved with intention. Oh, okay. He didn't try to get in her pants. He actually tried to get to know her. Oh, okay. Women have so much power. So much power. She said, the men I want don't want me. And she said, it's too late. You might be joking, but words have power. Never say it's too late if that's not what you want to be the case. I know a woman who got married in her late 40s. She's ecstatically happy. A lot of times, and I have a piece of content that's coming out later this week, a lot of times we learned really bad habits, and we were taught really bad methods from people who didn't know better. So a lot of times our parents gave us tools, whether intentionally or subconsciously, on how to function in life. And a lot of times those tools cause us to either not be in relationships at all or to be in toxic relationships. So, wait, you said, I already have a boyfriend. But you said the men that you don't like, the men you like don't like you. Does that mean that you're with a boyfriend you don't like? We've been through a lot. It's too late. I don't understand that. I'm being so serious. I don't understand that. He says, I want a Halle Berry type with glasses on. So let's take this. If you want a Halle Berry type, meaning, I'm assuming you're talking physical looks only, then that means that you want to be able to be very selective, right? This is a guy saying that. For a man to be extremely selective with a woman in the looks department, he has to understand what is the equal to beauty, okay? There is an unspoken currency when it comes to male-female relationships, and the equivalent to beauty of a woman is the resources of a man. As much as we want to say it's not politically correct, it's the unspoken currency that has been there since the beginning of time. So if a guy says, I want the Halle Berry type, he has to have, if it's like a short-term thing, she'll probably give him attention. If he has the energy and the look, that's the exception. She can, for a short time, deal with him if he has the energy and the look, like basically the swag, and she's sexually attracted to him. But as far as a long term, a woman is drawn to his resources. So even if he's really, really hot, after a while, she will lose respect for him if he's not able to be the provider. So this is a great example of, you can have what you want, but do you have the thing that attracts that person? Thank you so much for the badge. I really appreciate that, Lady Promoter. So understand, you guys, I am learning how to say things in the way that is least offensive, because you guys, y'all get me together. If my delivery needs improvement, I'm trying to soften it and soften it and soften it without watering it down, because what I will not do is water it down, because the truth will set you free. So if I water it down, you'll be less free. But what I can do is soften the delivery. And I hear women saying, We want to hear that you understand how we got here, and we don't want to feel like we're being judged, and we don't want to feel like we're consciously making bad decisions. And so I hear you. And so I'm going to add in there, words to speak to. Hey, babe, I know this wasn't your first choice, but here's another alternative. Or maybe you got this way because of XYZ. No problem. But what you can do from here on out is 1, 2, 3. And I'll close with this. And I'm going to do a separate post later because I don't know who else is going to listen to the end. Men, you guys have a lot of power when it comes to change. A lot of guys pat me on the back and salute me and say, oh my goodness, thank you so much for straightening these women out and telling them like it is. But here's the thing. If you really want to support women, encourage them in the comments. When you see a woman owning something, instead of ridiculing or before you even see the comment coming in and saying, oh, you know what? They're not going to listen. This is a good post, Yonci, but they're not going to listen. Speak things that you want to come true. Speak life. And Kenny's comment could not have been more timely. He said, sometimes you have to give the hard truth. That's how people learn. No, sir. That is how men learn. Men learn with hardness, coldness, and wild directness. So you are projecting that love. You're projecting that onto a woman. I strongly recommend you read the book, The Way of the Superior Man. It's written by a guy. And he figured out that men and women are not motivated the same way. When a woman is shown that she is loved, encouraged, and supported, she stops being afraid. When she stops being afraid, she's able to use that energy that she was using to defend herself to think. So you're quick to call women ignorant, dumb, whatever. It's because the way a woman is wired, she is sensitive because we are in touch with the spirit realm. The spirit realm doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. If you have negative energy, we can actually feel it in our bodies. This is why women cry a lot more often than men do, because it is like being a butterfly. You handle a butterfly the different way than you handle a grizzly bear. You're gentle. You could use a net. You could crush it with one wrong move. Grizzly bear, you could put that thing in a headlock and wrestle him to the ground. You could punch him. Look at kangaroos, right? They literally fight kangaroos. So different creatures need help different ways. Just because the woman doesn't understand doesn't mean that she doesn't want to. But you are essentially doing this and then wondering why she's doing this. A boxer knows that you're supposed to keep your hands up at all times, right? Even if you punch, you keep your hands up. Why? Because you're anticipating a blow. If you want a woman to have a conversation like this, then don't do this. Because this is her natural God-given instinct to protect herself spiritually. So if you want her to do this, you also have to do this. So if you find yourself in my comment section and you're really excited about a post, speak life. Hey, I'm so glad that there's a place for you because this means that there are so many women who want to learn. Find a way to speak encouragement. This is why so many of you guys have unsuccessful communication with your wives and your girlfriends and the people you date, because you are trying to teach her the way a man teaches her. And you think about, yes, Nicole, I'll repeat that. You think about the way men greet each other, right? You see two women greet each other. What do we say? Oh, hey, beautiful. Oh, I see you cut your hair. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, is that a new perfume? Oh, I see those shoes. What do? We lead with love and compliments. What does a man do when he sees another man? Oh, bro, you skipped leg day, huh? Oh, look at you. Oh, your beard still ain't connecting? Oh, you guys tease and challenge. You guys tease and challenge, and it doesn't hurt your feelings. It actually causes you to want to improve. Men and women are not the same. I get this question so often. Yes, my love. I got married in 2003. Thank you for asking. So she asked me if I could repeat the part. Really quick, Queen says, hello, just want to say I'm grateful that there are amazing women and men on this planet who see each other's humanity. You remind us of our divine humanity, so thank you. That's so beautiful, thank you. Nicole says, can you repeat the part where you said men learn with the cold, hard truth, but how do women learn best again? Oh, women learn best when they feel like they are in a safe place emotionally, if they feel loved, supported, and encouraged. So it has taken a lot of work for me to figure out how to keep fine-tuning my delivery style, because I can have a lot of masculine energy. I have a lot of feminine energy, but I'm very good at being in my masculine. And so I can be very sarcastic. I have very dry humor, and I can be very, very blunt. And so I have found over the last 7 years in communicating with women as my primary audience that not all women respond well to dry humor and sarcasm, because it comes across as the deliverer seems like they have it all together, or they're looking down upon, when in reality it's, honey, I made all the mistakes, so I can laugh now. But the laughing seemed like it was ridicule. So I had to really learn how to adjust my delivery so that the people who didn't know me knew that I wasn't being rude intentionally. Oh yeah, she said, exactly. She said, I'm not going to tell you my life when you're going to use it against me later. How can we help men understand this and respond more compassionately? Well, this goes back to what I was saying about teaching men. You can't teach a man. However, you can tap into your feminine energy. So I'll give you guys a free little mini course right here, okay? He says, tell us first, then go from there. Now that is very good. What I have found with my female clients, because I do couples counseling, a lot of times the woman thinks that she's being direct, and she's not. She's being vague. And we tend to think that the opposite person functions the way we do. So just like I said, men do it with women, women do it too. So a woman, we can be very passive, and a lot of times we understand each other as women to women communication. When it comes to a guy, we need to spell things out. So it's like, I'm being exaggerating, right? Something could have fallen on your head, and you have to tell the guy, this fell on my head, it hurts me, please lift it off. You would think a man would see it and go, oh, it fell on her head, it must be uncomfortable, therefore I'll help her to take it off. And I used a very obvious examples to paint a picture, but that's how obvious it is to women, but it's not obvious to men. So you have to literally say, babe, when you go hang out with your friends, I don't want you gone all night. I don't want you to be coming home in the middle of the morning. I want to spend time with you as well. You can't just say, oh, you hang with your friends a lot. You need to be very constructive. Think of men like computers. They need direct commands. I would like this item. It is on aisle 6, and I need it in my hand by 2:00. If we don't respond properly, let us know. There are consequences if we keep doing so. And I disagree. You do not tell a man there are consequences. You do not tell a man there are consequences. You let your actions speak for itself. So if, for example, he speaks to you aggressively, you don't keep speaking. You don't say, uh-oh, if you keep doing that, Women are like birds. You need to think about how birds are. If you are loud and boisterous, the bird doesn't say, please hold down your voice. The bird just flies away. Now, if the bird sees that you're safe and the hand's out like this, and there's a little food in there, then the bird is incentivized and feels safe enough to come and approach. Thank you for the bag, Deus. I appreciate that. So the bird doesn't need to do anything as far as communication. The bird rejects or receives. The bird opens the door or the bird closes the door. accepts or rejects, stays or flees. The bird is not having to make things happen. The bird responds. Feminine energy responds. This is why I said women have such subtle power. If every time a man comes around, he's like a roaring lion, and he scares the little birdie off, if he wants that birdie, eventually he's going to figure it out. He's pretty smart. He's pretty smart. I focus on my behavior and it's never bad, so that's okay. I focus on my behavior and it's never bad. Are you saying your behavior is never bad? Am I understanding that correctly? I'm reading it and it sounds like you're saying your behavior as a human being is never bad. I might be reading that incorrectly. Help me understand. Okay, guys, so that is the reason why I make my content for women. Hopefully this was helpful for you. And before I forget, tonight is Monday night. So that means that it's my YouTube show. And so you guys make sure you don't miss it. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Make sure you're on YouTube. And go ahead and click the link in my description. There's a little link in my bio and it shows you how to get to your YouTube. Later on, I'm going to be posting the actual link. Oh, perfect question, Kenny. So tonight, we're going to be, so last month we did the 4-part series, Make It Make Sense. And we were talking about gender roles and things like that. I actually have a special guest and we're going to be just discussing everything that came out because there's a lot to be said. It will be on YouTube. Okay, he said, I'll meet you halfway. If we're told that we're doing wrong at least once, we'll still keep doing it. Fine. I can understand you all as women pulling away. Okay, yeah. If you say you check your behavior, that's big difference than saying it's never wrong. Because I am also a believer in Jesus Christ. I've given my life to him. I fast, I pray, I read my Bible, and I still have room to grow. So I just caution making statements like that because it makes us vulnerable to not being open to growth. And I think that until we meet Jesus face to face, we have room to grow. Okay, perfect, Deus. He said he's going to go on YouTube. Let me see. Anything else? Just looking. Oh, there was a question. BJ says, question, is it true that most men have a short attention span according to most women? I wouldn't say that they have a short attention span. I think that men are extremely focused when there's something that captures their attention. So that's why I say if you're trying to use bait and it's not working, you might want to revisit the bait. So no, I've not seen men. Men have extremely strong attention span. Most women don't understand the dynamic of men. And so what they do is, there's this old country western song, I almost sang it, but I love you guys too much to do that. But it says, don't give a man something. Wait, don't give a man. It's hard when I don't sing it. Basically, don't give a guy something that he can get enough of, because you basically spoil him. So you have to be very strategic. You have to parcel things out, and the guy doesn't even care, right? You just don't say it, ladies, but you just give him enough. If you give him everything, he won't fall in love because he's already got it. So it's kind of like, they say like, you don't hand over the food until you get the check or something like that. It's like, you gotta understand. It's a finesse, but it's a win-win finesse. I give you what you want, you give me what I want. It doesn't make sense if you're trying to negotiate to just give everything that they want. And then they're like, I don't need you then because I already got what you wanted. So he said, school Yancy that how men are simple creatures. That's literally what I'm saying. I'm literally saying men are simple creatures. That's literally what I'm saying. Thank you, BJ. Yes, Nicole, but everything is a game. She said, it sounds like we have to play a game. Everything is a game. So at work, you don't just go to work because you're a great person and you just really want to benefit to society. No, you go to work because you want to check. So what do? You get out of bed even though you don't want to. You deal with colleagues that you don't want to deal with. You give up your free time. You do things to get what you want. We have just created this mindset that we should just be on autopilot. I should be able to do anything I want and get the results. No. If I came on here, just stumbling out of bed, disheveled, in pajamas, one eyebrow, I can't expect the same results as when I actually wash my face, brush my teeth, put some semblance of clothing on. Like, there's always work that needs to be done. How cute. She said, Susie says, play the game. Put on a smile and sit there 8 hours playing a game. Right? You got to do what you got to do. And so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When you really get good at the game, you don't really have to think about it anymore. Okay? So it only takes work when it's not your natural thing. So if a man is naturally a provider, he's a natural go-getter, he's a natural leader, he doesn't go, oh gosh, I gotta make money, I gotta lead in order to keep this woman interested. No, he's just himself, and she's like, ooh, he's a leader and provider, ooh. And a woman who's very much in her feminine energy, she knows the power of touch. She knows the power of flirtation. She knows the power of her mind. She knows how to get things done. So it's just about tapping into your feminine if you're a woman, and tapping into your masculine if you're a man. And instead of becoming this game, it's a beautiful dance. And a lot of us have fun with the dance. Oh, it's a lot of fun. Okay? So don't hate the game. Start to enjoy it and have fun and reap the benefits. All right, guys. Until next time, tell someone that you love them. And I hope it's super obvious just how much I love you.